First off, I apologize for the late notice for all of you on this. It's been developing throughout the day, and we really wanted to get this to you this evening, and that was part of the late notice that came from you all. I'm here with Chief Pat Malloy from Abington Township and First Assistant District Attorney Ed McCann. Announced the arrest in a double homicide in Abington Township. The arrest is of Verity Beck, 49 of Rydell. Last night, Abington police were called to conduct a wellness check in a home where Reed and Miriam Beck lived on Beverly Road, Jenkintown section of Abington Township. And that was about 10:30 p.m. last night. When police arrived, they were able to get in the house, and immediately I identified a deceased male, and that was Reed. And he was wrapped in a white sheet and comforter. And they were also, unfortunately, able to see that there was evidence of Miriam in the house also, and she was deceased. So there were signs of extreme trauma, and I'll tell you that that a chainsaw was found, and both Reed and Miriam were found in different stages of dismemberment. And that was one of the reasons that has taken the time that it did today for us, because these were not easy autopsies to conduct based upon the fact that Verity used this chainsaw and then had put parts of her parents into trash bags and had covered them up, and they were actually in two different trash cans. The autopsy revealed that both Reed and Miriam were shot in the head. We believe that happened first. There is evidence that a pillow was used in the shot, and there was one shot to each of their heads. So we hope and pray that happened first. The case and the work that is being done is still ongoing. We are looking for what motive could have been behind this. I can't share one with you at this time. We did find evidence in the house of a safe that had been attempted to be broken into. And we also believe that this happened over a period of some time. Their voices were last heard by a family member on the 7th of January. So we believe that they may have been decomposing in that time. And that was also, unfortunately, the smell that the officers got when they first came into the house, and sadly, that's a very distinctive smell. So, has not been an easy day for a lot of officers working on this case. Hearts go out to other family members for losing two folks. Each in their 70s. So we'll take questions on it at this point.
Do you have any history or know of any history for the suspect mental illness history?
Well, I can't get into that, but the chief ran and see it if there was any other contacts with the house or anything along those lines, and there was not. So this wasn't something that was like an ongoing concern for the police because they had been called. So this was them going to the house here on a wellness check because a family member knew something had gone on here.
Okay, but the defendant, what's her status at this point right now? Is she cooperating? Has she been arraigned? Can you give us some details?
Yeah, so I'm not sure of the arraignment process, but what I can tell you is that she'll be at the Montgomery County Correctional Facility. So she's charged with first-degree murder. That's a non-bailable offense, not eligible for bail, so she'll be incarcerated, and then a preliminary hearing will be set and those things. So the judge has the paperwork. I'm not sure on which stage that is and when the arraignment will happen, if it has happened. She'll be going to the, yeah, she's there. All right, she's already at the Montgomery County Correctional Facility.
Has
Yeah.
she provided any statements?
Well, there was some conversation that she had with a family member, and then there was just some limited discussion when the police got there, but that's it.
And you said she talked with Justin when he came into the house for 30 minutes. Anything you can tell us about what that conversation consisted of?
I can tell you what's in the probable cause affidavit, and that's about it.
Can you walk me through the timeline again? When do you think they died?
We believe it may have been on the 7th of January. That's when their voices had last been heard. And I say that specifically because it seems like the daughter may have had access to their phones and may have been texting on their behalf, but no one had heard their voices since the 7th, and that was unusual because family members would talk to them a lot.
So was she living there at that whole time while they were presumably dead?
I can't tell you the specifics of what went on, but she was also a resident of the house, and it seemed like the bodies were moved a bit from some of the things, and and there was evidence that a chainsaw had been used. So
Do you believe she was in the process of actively trying to conceal these crimes when you talk about, do we know?
clearly, this is somebody that is dismembering, her mother and father, and putting body parts in trash cans. So clearly, she's trying to get rid of the evidence of her crime. And again, I mean, they'd been shot in the head. We believe at a close range, with a pillow. So that's the indications there.
Does she have any prior history of any mental illness or any offenses?
That was asked already. I can't get into that.
I'm questioning, so this is a domestic dispute with family. Any message for people who could possibly relate to something like this or be in harm's way, to see if there are any signs, the mother and father?
Again, like when I went through this, I don't have a motive for you. I don't know what was going on, between these folks. That's all under investigation, and that's going to be continuing at this point, and maybe we'll have more on that later. But what I'm here to tell you is just a horrible, tragic situation where a 73-year-old and 72-year-old were murdered and dismembered, and it's been a difficult day for everybody working on this stuff. Yeah.
The officers, they smell the decomposing. That's a smell you can't forget. You say it's also safe to say a difficult day for them.
It is, and it's. I think sometimes people don't think about all the things that have to get done in police work in terms of public safety and going on a wellness check, and then you find this, and then all the folks that had to work all day today to try to get everything to the coroner's office and work through that. And that was a difficult task for the forensic pathologist and everybody working through that. And you know, you have a great team working on all this stuff. And then you can't overlook, you know, the tragedy that we're dealing with, and family members of these folks that are going to be going through a really, really difficult time. So, you know, this is a tragic situation. Our first assistant just stepped out of the room for a minute, and that was because we wanted to try to get some confirmation. So I'm gonna turn to something else here, and I know the Limerick chief wanted to be with us today, but he is out at a scene in Royersford right now, and unfortunately, I have to announce that we have found Jennifer Brown, who we have been looking for, and she is dead. She was a mother who was last seen on Tuesday, January 3rd, at her home in Limerick. Friends and family have not heard from her since that day. As I said, she was a devoted mother of an 8-year-old boy, and by all accounts, she would have never left him unintended and unsupervised. Personal belongings were still at her house, and we have been engaging in an intensive investigation. And I can't tell you how many people have worked through this and have helped in this case to try to locate her. And we hoped and prayed that she would be safe. And she is not. So unfortunately, she's been located out in Royersford, and we've been able to confirm that it was her. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Miss Brown's family and friends at this time. She'll get over to the coroner's office at some point. That's going to be a bit of a process, unfortunately, from where we found her, and that remains an ongoing investigation at this point. But I am sad to announce to everybody that has been helping us look for her, and hoping and praying that she would be alive, and she is not.
Kevin, could you detail the location of where she was found?
I can tell you it's in Royersford, and it's a scene that they're working right now. So that's going to probably, you know, go well into the night. I'm not sure when I'm going to have updates for you on that, but you know what I can tell you is that's going to be an ongoing investigation, and we're going to have to see what's revealed when she gets to the coroner's office. So,
Can you say what condition she was found in? What means led to finding her?
I can tell you that she was at least partially buried. So, okay, thanks everybody. Sorry this was so.
One last question, do you have anybody you suspect in her disappearance that could be connected to what happened to Jennifer Brown? Thank you.